All right, let's dive right into this fascinating breakdown of how video length completely dictates marketing psychology. Seriously, if you've ever wondered why some ads absolutely grip you in half a second, while others feel like this slow educational burn, well, you are in the perfect place. In this explainer, we're going to unpack some incredibly brilliant strategic guidance on how to craft scripts that are tailored perfectly to their duration and their platform. $1,825 on coffee. Boom. Imagine you're just mindlessly scrolling on your phone and that exact number flashes across your screen. It hits you right in the wallet, doesn't it? That is exactly what a pure shock stat feels like. It's incredibly specific, it's jarring, and its entire purpose in life is to stop your scroll absolutely cold in a fraction of a second. To really get this, we're going on a quick time scaling journey today. We're starting with the 10-second shock, moving up to the 20-second pain solution, checking out the 30-second benefit stack, settling into 40 seconds of building authority, and then capping it all off with optimizing your production workflow.
Okay, step 1, the 10-second shock. We're starting fast here because you have virtually zero time to make your case. Every single syllable has to hit like lightning.
So, the absolute crucial point of a 10-second script is that you must rely entirely on a pure shock stat. Think back to that crazy $1,800 coffee figure we just talked about. You don't have time for a slow intro. No polite greetings. You need a data point that is so specific and honestly so jarring that the viewer's brain is literally forced to interrupt whatever else it was doing just to process what you said.
And because these shocks are so incredibly brief, just a quick flash across the screen really, they are strategically engineered for very specific platforms. We're talking bumper ads or story ads. These are environments where the user already expects rapid-fire, bite-sized content, which makes your 10-second shock stat feel completely native. And in advertising, native equals effective. Let's expand our timeline just a bit. Moving on to part 2, 20 seconds, the pain solution. Here, we can actually slow the pacing down slightly as we shift away from pure shock to a slightly more narrative, problem-solving tone. With 20 seconds, you finally have enough runway to execute a classic pain-to-solution arc. You introduce the enemy first. Actually, scratch that. You name the enemy first. Like in financial marketing, a fantastic enemy is mystery spending. You know, that terrible feeling of not knowing where your paycheck went. You establish that pain, and then you immediately hit them with the antidote. You validate their frustration and instantly offer the cure.
Now, you might be wondering, why wouldn't we just use this pain-to-solution arc in a 10-second slot? Well, because it takes a few beats to actually establish that pain. So this 20-second arc is highly specific. It is absolutely fantastic for retargeting. These are viewers who already know they have a money problem, right? You don't need to convince them the enemy is real. You just have to name it and provide the fix. All right, section 3, 30 seconds, stacking benefits. Adding another 10 seconds changes our strategy completely yet again. Welcome to what the source material brilliantly calls the benefit-stacked middle ground.
30 seconds gives you the actual breathing room to teach the viewer something genuinely useful before you ever ask for a click. The play here is to list off, say, 5 concrete tactics right up front. By the time they hear tactic number 3 or 4, the viewer actively feels like they're getting real value. And because you've already delivered the goods early on, they are heavily primed to click through and get the rest of the whole shebang.
Because of this awesome early value proposition, the 30-second benefit-stacked script is a phenomenal strategy for Facebook and Instagram feed ads. When people are scrolling their feeds, they're looking for that engaging kind of semi-educational content. Dropping 5 rapid-fire tactics fits perfectly into how they naturally behave on those apps.
Okay, moving to section 4, 40 seconds, building authority. Let's take a collective breath here. The frantic hyper energy of the bumper ad, that's completely gone. We are now adopting a calm, authoritative, and deliberate tone because we're in a longer, highly educational format. What's really fascinating here is how our target is defined for this specific duration. 40 seconds gives you the space to speak deeply to an aware audience. Listen, these aren't the people you need to shock with coffee stats. These are folks who are already actively thinking about their finances. They're slightly more patient viewers, and they're fully willing to sit back and listen to you build a robust, authoritative argument. To cap off this time-scaling arc, this deeper, authority-building engagement demands the right environment. The source makes it clear. This longer format is best suited for YouTube pre-roll. Why? Because YouTube viewers are already there to watch a longer video. They're seated, they're focused, and their patience is just massively higher than someone rapidly swapping through stories.
So how do we actually implement all this? Let's transition into our final segment, optimizing your production workflow.
This really brilliantly illustrates our entire journey today. Duration tightly dictates both your messaging strategy and your platform placement, period. From the 10-second pure shock stat for stories, all the way up to the 40-second authority builder for YouTube pre-roll, the length of the video completely changes the actual job the script has to do.
Now, the goal here for you is efficiency. While you might use templates to speed up your workflow, using that copy button for easy pasting, you cannot just copy and paste blindly. You have to actively jump in there and adjust the tone, ensure the audience targeting matches the specific pain points of your viewers, and tailor the language so it sounds natural coming from your unique brand.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you really have to ask yourself after reviewing this breakdown. Take a hard look at your current video marketing. Do your tone, audience targeting, and language align perfectly with the durations of your videos? Or are you, trying to squeeze a 40-second authority builder into a 10-second shock slot? I highly invite you to audit your own scripts using this exact framework. Honestly, the results might just shock you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.